Epileptics beware.
In the Chile.
Welcome, everybody, to a messy Monday for most around here. I hope you got the day off. We had the day off from work today in honor of Dr. Martin Luther King. And so we actually rested today. Jake's getting over his virus or whatever he's had over the weekend. And so gave him a day. And he may have another day because there's going to be a thick frost in Georgia and there's no school. So that's where we're at. That our school system is canceled. I don't know about the rest of you, but so we're out.
Meanwhile, in Wisconsin,
How much snow did you get?
it varies, but at least a foot. I don't really watch the weather. I just step outside, and there's a lot there.
Yeah, it's kind of difficult not to notice how much snow is already just there.
It's enough to break my back.
Did you have to push it out of the way to go down your steps?
No, it wasn't that bad.
Oh, okay.
No, it was.
So did y'all have the mega cold temperatures at the football game where people opening their beer and their drinks and it was freezing instantly when they were doing that?
Yeah, it's about 0 right now. Fahrenheit.
What's the temperature? None. There's none temperature.
Yeah,
That's
it's absent of.
I went to a sports bar just as the Green Bay Dallas game was winding down, and the Dallas fans, I think, had already left the sports bar, but the Green Bay fans, one of them at the last moment stood up and said, "How about them Cowboys?" And I busted into laughter. Sorry, I took it off track.
That's okay. I'm making an Ice Planet version of the Interstellar whatever, but I'm having to adjust wing sizes and stuff. So I'm pondering. But 2 or 3 of us have made mods of this, and just something I'm realizing. Number one, just how cool of a little set this is. $20, and it's amazing. And then we're all recoloring it. Do you know why it's easy for us to recolor? Because there's not a bunch of Technic crap in here.
Yeah.
Right? One of the beauties about this set is that it's a simple set. There may be one clip in there.
It has a couple of unnecessary Technic pin bricks in it that don't need to be there at all. They could have just put some plates in there, and that wouldn't have needed those at all. But
it could have been handled with an email.
Yes,
it could have been handled with a plate and an L bracket. But yes, it does. But the beauty of it, though, is the beauty of this set is it's a cool set, lovely lines and things like that. It's easy to modify, but it's also easy to build again. So you don't have to build some weird Technic chunk and then be stuck with that. So kudos. And it's also fun to go through this set. This is like the third time I've gone through it and realize, oh, that part's there just because they use that part somewhere else, and it's the filler. Yep. Because a lot of those curved 1x4s in there are just kind of laying around being 1x4s and not being needing to be curved at all. One of them, I think, needs to be curved or something like that. So it's kind of interesting to see the design process in that to be efficient. So good set.
Stop being such a 1x4.
Oh, Chris,
sir, I'm a rounded 1x4. Thank you very much.
I was going to say, Chris wishes he was around a 1x4. But you're right, because, and the fact does, I mean, he could have used other things, but he chose to use those because it's a new color to bring those into the wild, which I think was a good choice too.
Circulation.
But I want to know, though, and let me get the full screen here. I have a theory I kind of wonder if some of this was unmade or not produced Lightyear sets. And here's why, because they're not truck. But let me just put this up there. This is the Lightyear ship.
Yeah.
The 14, right?
Yep.
Check out the design of the things there and the little hood, and then you have this. So
Very, very close.
you got the scoops.
The air intakes are all wrong, but the overall silhouette is right.
Yeah, well, I mean, they printed them up there, though. I mean, those air tanks, they look fairly similar than the prints. So
Well, one of those is Lego, the other one isn't.
I have a Lego version of this, but I don't. It's in a box. Anyway, I built it. But anyway,
if you can't bring your props, then don't have the discussion.
Imagine a prop.
imagine, if you will, that I kicked Dana out of the show he hasn't been on since Christmas.
You just gotten sensitive with my absence. That's all it is. Need to toughen you back up a little bit.
I don't know what that means.
No pain, no gain.
22 days to Atlanta BrickCon, by the way.
Oh, don't mention it.
Oh no, I'm mentioning it because I was thinking it was closer to like 30 some odd days to go. No, it's 22.
Yeah. I keep saying 3 weeks, and Van Winden's like, no, it can't beat that. And I'm like, well,
I never said that. I just said, oh, is it that close? Like, I don't have to build anything for the show. So for me, it's like, oh, is it that close? Okay.
Last chat, you were like, oh, it's a month away. And I was like,
Well, last week it was 4 weeks away, which technically is a month.
Technically, he's right.
Especially if
it's
it's on a
January.
Monday.
There's more than 31 days. Or there's more than 30 days.
January feels like an entire year. What are you talking about?
It does.
It does.
Why do spaceships have wings? Because it looks cool.
There's a dad joke coming. There's a dad joke coming. I'm just guessing, but there's a dad
Could
joke.
be. Let's see who is in the chat. Grumpy J was here before we were. Steve is here. Rich is here. Hello, Rich.
Rich.
Alternate candidate is here. Entertainingly Lame is here. Hello.
Ryan.
Exoplate is here. I'll change this. Take this out for wheels. That's funny. Yeah. 1x3 round plates. That's cool. Very cool. Why do spaceships have wings? Because we need to see it. If you see what would be a space capsule, it's not as exciting and swooshy as spaceships with wings.
Because they'll eventually enter a planetary atmosphere and they need stabilization.
How can you lock your S foils in attack position if you don't have S foils?
Right.
Exactly.
Ask the TIE fighters that.
They don't go in.
Oh, boom.
They do fly in atmosphere, but that's why it's science. It's fantasy, not science fiction. Which is the truth.
Which I love that it took 40, 50 years of Star Wars for them to realize, if we cut the front parts out of the wings on the TIE fighter, we could be able to see to the left and the right. So that Mining Guild TIE fighter is like, wow. Anyway.
Meanwhile, the Scout Troopers.
Do what?
The Scout Troopers, they still can't see anything.
Hell, the stormtroopers can't see anything. The Mandalorians are probably about the closest, and the clone troopers about the closest to being able to see anything because they at least get a downward angle somewhere.
Yeah, but they're always
That's
cross-eyed.
they can blow their nose golfer style. They can stick their finger up in there, blow down, straight down. That's what it's for.
And
That's why they're always wearing
that
helmets.
I say are questionable on this show. That was just disgusting.
TMI.
And that's why they can't take their helmets off, because they'll just be smears all the way down their face. Is that what you're?
Yeah.
No, it's not. All right. That joke got it right there. He got it. Because of that, you get to go first. Hey, man, what's up in your world? Steve, how you doing?
I'm doing. I'm working on multicolored techno rock work.
That is just
That sounds fun.
So this is
crazy.
yeah. Slowly but surely, it's kind of like mind numbing. It's like really tedious, and I don't care for it anymore. And I have a lot of it to do, so I'm just pushing through.
This is where we usually would say maybe you might have thought about a different hobby.
Yeah, just like doing a little bit at a time. So
You need to do like Tom Sawyer and be like, "This is so much fun. Does anyone want to come over and help me do some rock work?"
well, I don't like people touching my Lego, so I don't know how that would work.
Oh, okay. Sounds
Oh,
somebody's
that
got
challenge
issues.
accepted. When we meet him at a convention, I'm just gonna go start going touch things, touch things.
Forever unclean. Not a whole lot's going on in my life, though. I've just been working on this stuff. I got back problems, getting old.
Well, that you said it's like what, 0 outside?
It is pretty close. It was 8 when I left work, and then it was 6 when I got home. And yeah, it's got to be near 0 now.
I do not miss that at all.
I don't miss it either, and I live in it.
Are you originally from there? Is this technically home for you?
Unfortunately, yes. I was born in Wisconsin.
And you will probably die there.
Yep, I am most definitely going to die there. Yeah, I tried to get out, but my wife doesn't want to leave, so forever we'll die here.
It's like a cult.
It's cold, yes.
It's
Now
You need a coat,
we
a coat.
cremate bodies sometimes. Do you guys freeze dry them, or is it a different process?
Yeah, that's where like Bill Nye comes in with all of like the what's that stuff called? Liquid
Science?
nitrogen.
Science. I heard it referred to the other day as science.
Science.
If you've ever watched a little show called Disenchantment, it's science.
We don't, but
You should. Well, you
I've
should
never
not
heard of
because
this.
Chris should not because it's way too punny in adult humor from time to time. However, Mark would probably enjoy it because it's very punny and adult and D&D and
Is
steampunk.
Disenchantment
And
the Simpsons, the Matt Groening cartoon?
it is a Matt Groening cartoon, correct?
oh, I know what that is.
Aha! So now you chime in. I see how you are.
I'm sorry, I was not processing what you were talking about. Actually, I
Well,
stopped
I'm used
listening
to that by now. You would, yeah.
Never heard of it.
It's on Netflix.
All right.
It was his first what he did for comics before Simpsons. Are they still doing that? Is that what it is?
No.
The rabbits?
No. What he did for comics was School is Hell, which was a completely different thing. This is a whole new thing.
This is like new. It's like within the last few years new.
Yeah, it's only got like 5 seasons. But it's
It's like Futurama except fantasy.
Yeah.
yes, it is very
Medieval.
much Futurama but fantasy.
I just added it to my list.
It didn't hold my attention for more than an episode. So
You know what?
I'm not saying it's bad, but
I will agree that the first episode didn't hold me. It took me plugging through about 3 or 4. And then once the running jokes started to become apparent,
Mhm.
then it became much more entertaining. And you also have to stop and say, don't try to think too much. Don't try to say, well, that's not medieval. No, because it's not. It's just in a setting and it goes all sorts of weird places. And logic has no business whatsoever. Which makes it entertaining. I find it very fun.
I do have one other thing actually. I'll show you guys. I'm
open
working on a modified Doc Ock. So
Ooh,
some of you guys know I can't get the thing to focus. There we go.
there you go. Good focus.
So yeah,
Wow.
I got some of these black Technic Finny things. So I'm just trying to take different pieces that I don't want to have like I want to have the Daily Bugle minifig, and I don't want to have any other minifig. I want to kind of make my own thing. So working on that.
Looks cool.
Cool.
It's very nice.
I had to buy a botanical set to work on that for 4 pieces.
Basic A full.
Yep.
You had to get the tulips. Is that what it was?
It's actually this daffodil set.
Daffodils. Yeah.
Yeah, it was cheap. So
What'd you need? The cross piece in the back, or
I needed those triangular pieces. Come on, focus.
oh, okay, yeah, the
Yeah,
Technic.
Yeah, the right in the middle.
Oh, those things. Okay,
Yeah, the Ninjago weapon thing.
yeah, those are cool.
Oh, dude, Jude.
Hey, dude.
That's cool. Yeah, you just need to put that in the car and run it down to Atlanta, in a couple weeks. Just come on.
Yeah.
Did you? Is this shown up in other sets, and this is just new to me?
It was first in the Corvette.
Or was it the first
Yeah.
in the Corvette? Okay, because it's also shown up in this thing.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, I mean, what is it? Parts poop? Parts made of parts?
Can you actually make that out of other parts?
You
don't
can't
think
get
you
that
can.
bottom curve out of that.
No, I guess it is more. It is a slightly bigger curve than the normal 1x3. So yeah, no, I guess you can't make it out of other parts. Okay, so this is new.
Hmm.
Very
not
nice.
poop.
Actually.
Yeah, and the anti, like, there's an arch that fits that too, which is pretty nice. Nice shape.
I haven't found that yet, but maybe there will be in a different set. But that's cool.
Yeah, it kind of all hooks together. It looks really nice.
Mm.
I like it when they do that.
Me too.
I could grab the Corvette if you want to see the two together.
Yes, please do. Since you're offering.
It's close by.
Hang on, let me give you the floor right there.
You can see the red one on top here.
Ah,
So
and it looks like it's longer.
yeah, it's longer.
Okay.
Well, no, it's the same from there to there. It's the same size. It's one extra brick longer just because it has to have a connection point.
Oh, okay.
But this is a cool set, except for the roof. Looks so
That
much
is actually
better.
pretty slick.
So
You know what? Honestly, until you've shown that, I never even thought about getting that. And now I actually feel like maybe I should.
yeah, it's a nice set.
I
That's-
ordered the two windshields off of it from a Bricklinker guy the other day.
Mhm.
The curves look really graceful.
Yeah, it's not quite accurate, but it's pretty close. I mean, you can't complain. I do like the trunk though, because it's got a little release on the back because you can't lift it normally. There's like a little Technic brick kind of hidden under here.
Slick.
So, but yeah, it's a pretty cool set. Are we keeping it on me? Should I?
Yeah, while we're here, what's up in your Lego world, buddy?
Ignore the two guys up here. That's just for spacing for the logo. But yeah,
I can hear it creaking.
it's creaking for sure. Well, because I'm holding the edges, not the base, but it's solid. Like not solid. You can, but I mean it's built strong. So and it's one piece. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to transport it nicely. But mostly done. Like I said, I just need to figure out the logo. I've got to call out to my office or email out to my office to figure out if I'm allowed to logo it, if they're okay with it. So I'm still waiting to hear back for that. And I'm trying to figure out if we're going to brick build the logo or just print it off on a sticker. So for any Canadians, it's the TELUS building. Oops.
Why would they not let you use the logo or print it out? I mean, you're not trying to sell it or market it or.
Yeah, it's very true. It's
Dana, have you met corporate executives?
it's more just asking before you do. You know what I mean? Like,
But you know what? Then you don't have the ignorance is bliss.
yeah, but because I work for the company, that to me that's more of a really.
He likes his job.
They're overrated. They're overrated.
Are they these days?
Ignorance can be
Corporate clowns.
unemployed as well.
Yeah.
Don't give in to those corporate clowns.
I'm just sharing. I'm sharing the logo. Ignore the brand resources part beside it because that's the first one I could find. But maybe Chris can share it quickly. So it's just that. So the word TELUS is easy to build.
Yeah.
I've already figured out how to do it with like the two brick high font. But the challenge if I were to brick build it is how to do the T with the lime green color there, and actually trying to get the colors because I mean that's kind of a dark purple, but it kind of isn't at the same time.
But
And
dark
ma-
purple would be a good representation.
Yeah, dark. Yeah, and then just what parts are available in that color and stuff.
That-
So
the shape in lime green would be very difficult to pull off.
yeah, I was thinking maybe I could find some hot, like I don't know if hot dogs come in that color, but that would be like the closest thing I can think of to get some of the curve.
I don't think they've come in lime green yet.
I wish
Yeah.
they
Lime
came in
green.
lime green.
If your hot dog is lime, never mind.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So, also this week I've been working on like I had parts come in for my Starcom MOFs, so just like the replacement parts I needed to finish some of them off. So I updated them a bit yesterday. I rebuilt one of them a little bit as well. I haven't continued on that project because this one has taken my time, but now I'm switching gears to set up my castle one last time for Atlanta BrickCon, just because I'm going to stage the jousting area. And I've got 2 large monitor boxes. I think I mentioned this in the past. I got 2 large monitor boxes now that'll hold 2 48 base plates side by side.
Nice.
So I'm going to basically take the staged things and put them into a box, and hope that they don't, all the figs don't fall off, because that'll probably save me a few hours in setup, hopefully, because there's like hundreds of figs in that area.
Hopefully.
So
Cool.
that's my
You
next
have them. You have a lot of them pre-set up, right?
Well, I didn't. Like every time, like at Brick Fair, Alabama, after I was finished rebuilding everything, I had to put every fig out. But last year, I did all the paths of the spiral are all individual sections now that I can just lay down, and they've already got figures on them. So now I'm just trying to do the same with the jousting area, because that's the busiest area really in the whole castle. So it makes sense to do that.
Cool.
That's about it. Oh, and Starcom. No, StarCraft. I've been playing StarCraft 2 a bit because I never actually played the expansions of it. I discovered just recently. So I've been going back to it and playing it.
How old is StarCraft?
10 plus years. I think it came out in 2010. So 14 years.
Yeah.
StarCraft 2. But Blizzard still has it available, and they're still selling it. You can still buy it and play it. And that's my style of game, like the RTS type games. Real-time simulation. I think that's what it stands for.
Yep. So, do you think? I know that we haven't discussed the Fortnite thing with Lego, but they are not putting sets out right yet. Do you think Lego has taken their beating with licensing and stuff like that, and they're like, nah, we'll just see if this becomes like a mega hit, we'll make some, and they've got the designs ready to go, or you think they're just done with that?
I mean, they have to be a couple of years out usually. Like they'd have to be pretty close to having the designs done. Otherwise, in 2 years or a year and a half, when they finally get those sets out, then it'll have all died out, right? The love of it. So
Yeah.
But we've
it's
got Animal
weird.
Crossing. We've got Animal
Mhm.
Crossing.
Yeah, but I mean that's the problem with those sets is that they missed the wave on Overwatch, and all the Overwatch sets came out kind of after the big intro. It was what, 2 years after Overwatch had been out,
Mhm.
and now they're releasing the Animal Crossing sets like 2 years after Animal Crossing got big during its release and all that kind of thing. And it sort of feels like they're kind of they're not riding the wave when it happens. They're sort of after the wave.
They're
The
trying
wake,
to
as
get
it were.
for
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm not Lego marketing, but it just seems like they don't know. And then, I mean, Minecraft has become a cash cow for them, which they've got to be laughing at that. It's like, okay, we can put some 2x2 bricks in a set and make it Minecraft. Easy peasy. They're making so much. There's so much part repeat in that. Let's throw a couple of printed figure and print on the side of a couple of bricks. We're good. And yeah, that seems so easy.
the only thing they had, new molds they had to make for those were like the Minecraft swords, the pixelated swords, and the heads for the characters. But that had to be super cost effective, and I'm boggled that they're still coming out with new sets. Like I would have thought that would have run its course. That was 7 years ago.
Well, I would have thought that Minecraft itself would have run its course.
Yep.
But it is not. So
The kids like it.
It's a good
Kids-
sandbox to build and play and mess around. So
It really hits the kids right about age 6 is where they all start to get into it. And then when they all sort of start getting tired of that, they kind of move on to Roblox. And Small Paul is still kind of in the Roblox zone.
My kids just discovered that. That's what they're playing now.
Yeah.
so it's kind of like Minecraft is a rite of passage to move on to the next platform thing.
Kind of.
So is Roblox like the PhD version of Minecraft?
To me, it reminds me of after its Second Life, the game that Dwight Schrute was playing on The Office. It reminds me of that game. If you guys are Office fans, no one.
Roblox is kind. Yeah, I've seen The Office, but Roblox is kind of it's kind of like a game design platform or something, but it's like extremely appealing to my son with ADHD because he can get on there and play like one kind of game for 5 minutes and then switch to another one for 5 minutes and then switch to another one for 5 minutes and so on and so on and so on. And so that's what he does is he just plays like it's like a buffet of a whole bunch of little games, and most of them are crappy and they look like crap, and I don't understand why he likes to play it, but that's what he does. So
Good.
Well,
good.
it's new content, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's a mile wide and an inch deep.
It satisfies the look squirrel, new thing.
It does. It really does.
Ooh, shiny.
It doesn't really matter that the games are crappy because hey, look, that one's shiny. Let's go play that.
mhm.
Mallow and Stacy's got a new hat. That's what it's
And he plays it with his friend from school. It is like multiplayer, so he plays it with his buddy from school, and the two of them get on there and make loud noises. And
And that is actually good. That's important.
Make a lot.
Loud noises.
Yes.
No, well, no, interacting with your friends, doing stuff like that.
Overrated.
I thought
I
nerds
agree.
were supposed
Trust
to be
me.
silent.
I question a lot of my interactions with my friends. A lot.
You mean
But to answer your, I have to apologize, Steve. I have never really watched a full episode of The Office. I've watched a lot of the clips and I am familiar with the characters, and I think a lot of the bits are funny. But it's kind of like I also have never watched Parks and Rec, and I think it's that same style of hey, we're doing an interview, third-party camera thing.
For the most part.
mockumentary, yeah.
Yeah, mockumentary. And on top of that, The Office is about working in an office. And I've spent way too much time in an office. Most of those bits and most of those things is like PTSD. I really don't find it an enjoyment to sitting and watching it.
So Thomas has forced me to sit through like Office blooper reels on YouTube, and my comment is, I just think that Steve Carell, and I like Steve Carell generally as an actor comedian, but he's so cringe bad. Like it's just really funny. I'm just like, you're a terrible person. Like I don't want to. I get that that's part of the joke, but I just don't find it. I don't laugh at it. So
Again, I mean, that's why I don't watch it, because I know those people.
you know, real people like
Yes, and I choose not to deal with them, and I don't want to come home and watch them on TV.
That show would never. There was like a special place in time where that show could be made. There's no way that show could be made now. No way. It would get canceled. It wouldn't even make a pilot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of things hit their time at the right place. I mean, a lot of people joke that Friends would never make it today because they'd be sitting around the coffee shop all on their phones and, kind of thing. But what I think that really would be fun that couldn't be made again today, and that I watched last week, and I was very happy that it was now available on Netflix. Not that I don't own it and I couldn't just watch it anytime, but the fact that Blazing Saddles was on Netflix, my life was just a happy little gem the night we sat down and watched it.
You're gonna be shocked to hear this, but I've still never seen it all the way through.
Yeah, what's that?
What?
Yeah,
What?
we have-
I've seen parts of it, but I've never seen the whole thing all the way
I
through.
mean, they used to play it on CBS, like on Saturday night as a movie,
And they didn't
barely
even
cut out.
censor it.
They
And they
left.
they didn't even censor it then.
No, they censored out bad
have you met
words,
my-
but they didn't censor out the the culturally insensitive bad words.
Right. Right.
Did I mention that my parents completely got rid of a TV for a period of my childhood?
Did they burn it?
No, I think we took it to a pawn shop or something.
My mother put a hammer through the TV one time when she was mad at me when I was a kid.
Hammer?
The TV probably deserved it because you were so bad.
I'm gonna disagree on this. I'm gonna disagree on this.
I bet your mother, she seems sweet. I'll stop.
For the record, Blazing Saddles came out a year before I was born, so
Well,
I might have an excuse.
well, no, I mean it did. Yes, it's
did.
as old as I am, and it's still one of the best movies of all time. Now, granted, I say that, and I still think Young Frankenstein is actually a funnier movie.
Now
But you have to be older. Blazing Saddles is a perfect segue from fart jokes to adult humor, where Young Frankenstein is predominantly all adult humor.
I saw it as a kid and I thought it was like, I thought it was interesting. And then I remember the first time I saw it through adult eyes and I'm like, oh.
Yes. I watched
another layer.
I watched Young Frankenstein in high school because I loved Blazing Saddles and I figured, I need to watch this. Same thing with History of the World. And again, even History of the World. Now, granted, I took a lot of literature, or I had a lot of advanced literature classes. So a lot of the jokes I got where some of my peers maybe did not. Josephus is one of my favorite characters in that whole bit. My wife finally took classical literature in college classes and got the whole Josephus joking. That was like a beautiful moment to watch somebody experience that. But Young Frankenstein, when I finally watched that in my late 20s, my wife is in the kitchen doing something. I don't forget what it was. And she comes in. She's like, "What are you watching?" Because all I hear you is just cackling like a little kid. I'm like, "It's Young Frankenstein. This is so funny."
It's alive. It's alive.
If you watch that movie and you don't laugh when he yells at the guy Frankenstein and sticks the thing in his leg,
Yeah.
and that's where it really starts to roll and be funny,
Yes.
and not stop. If you don't laugh at that moment, then where he just kind of pulls his hand back and then covers the knife, the scalpel. It's if you don't get it till then, and if you don't notice that the dude's hump moves from side to side, from scene to scene, you just don't get it.
And I recently saw a little bit with Gene Wilder was on. I think he was talking to Conan. It was his book had come out, and now I actually didn't even know that he'd written a book, and I need to go pick that up. But he talks about that, Young Frankenstein, they did it so serious, and that is why it is so funny, because they didn't do it tongue in cheek. They literally were doing everything as serious as possible, and that's what made it so freaking funny.
Played it straight.
Yeah, I mean the freaking Gene Hackman scene. Oh, it brings me to tears because it is so freaking funny. Oh, I mean, because he does. I mean, it's coming. It's just it's just kind of good. And so I see something in here, a question about Life of Brian, and we've also got some Airplane references in here. But again, Airplane, it's a different thing. It's police
Slapstick.
It's Police Squad meets
Sight gags.
But Mel Brooks is a genius because you have to be intelligent to get the jokes. If you're just looking for slapstick, you'll get some of it. But if you're well-read, well-versed in TV, movies, history, it's so genius.
Okay, yeah, but you don't need a PhD to get those guys farting around the fireplace. The fire is hilarious.
Exactly.
Okay,
No, exactly, and that's why I'm saying Blazing Saddles is that great segue because it is such a fine line between fart jokes and adult humor. So,
have you ever seen? Speaking of the Airplane, have you ever seen Top Secret with Val Kilmer?
It's a vastly underrated movie.
Oh, it is one of the funniest movies ever. It is.
Yes.
If you took 50s surfer movies and back them up into their music into World War II.
Yes.
And Val Kilmer is like an Elvis famous thing going through Germany, and he ends up in the French underground and with Germany and Max von Sydow. Is he in that? No. Who is it? Oh, no, it's Grand Moff Tarkin. The guy that played Tarkin is in that movie, right? Where he's doing the magnifying.
Yes.
And They even play an entire scene. They filmed it backwards and then showed it forwards.
Well,
And
and then I mean, as
Or just
silly as
throwing
that
the books.
and as silly as the underwater scene is, it's just
the underwater bar fight.
yeah. I mean, yeah. Again, it's a vastly underrated movie. Vastly underrated movie.
Absurd. My favorite is where he cuts the wire and they're scooting in across the ground and they come up on the pair of boots from the soldier. And they pan up and it's just a pair of boots sitting there. So funny.
All right, I texted Top Secret to my spouse, so it's on the list. We'll watch it this week.
And what was the other one you were saying? Blazing Saddles, Top Secret, and what was the last one?
Young Frankenstein.
Yeah, Frankenstein. Okay.
I thought there was some other movie that was referenced that we were concerned that maybe Matthew hadn't said. Jeff, what did you bring up?
Well, I hadn't seen Blazing Saddles, but
No, but we were right. There was something else being referenced.
The irony is that my parents were very concerned about undue influences, and yet I know I saw Young Frankenstein multiple times, and that thing is loaded with double entendres. I mean, I guess they
But
just thought,
if you're under 12, it's going over your head, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean, it's like one
Spaceballs.
double entendre after another.
Spaceballs.
Was it Spaceballs? Matthew, have you seen Spaceballs?
Oh yeah, I've seen
Okay.
it all.
Yeah, I have too.
Okay.
So, and I mean, I lived in the country, so we got 3 channels on our, antenna. So for a lot of my life, and in the country, you can't easily go and rent a VCR.
Yep.
Shouldn't say that. My brother and sister did rent the VCR, but they would always get movies they wanted to see, which was, stuff I either wasn't allowed to watch or, made no sense to me at like the age of 7 or 8.
These things happen.
What happened in the next 30 years? I'm teasing.
There's so many other movies to watch.
Oh well, that's fair.
we'll let that ride. All right. Let's see, Matt, since we have given you a list of movies, what else is up in your world?
Yeah, so I am involved in the massive winter store that has 2 of those big black tubs you buy at Home Depot, and then a smaller tub. And I'm probably one day away from getting that all color sorted. And now I have like a pretty big bin of just white, just black, just light gray, just dark gray that still has to be sorted by shape. But the color phase is almost complete. And I got into the better bin that had less fake Lego and a lot more nearly complete sets. So it looks like it has a bunch of stuff from the 2008 to 2012. So it has like the Star Sailor from the prequels. It has appears to have the first clone turbo tank in the Clone Wars. Not the UCS Imperial shuttle, but the size just below that. And now I'm sitting here going, maybe I should reassemble all that. Unfortunately, the minifigs were, shall we say, redecorated with marker.
Oh,
So if I'm going to make complete sets, I'm probably going to be buying some minifigs off Bricklink. But a couple. Oh, the other set that's on there that I never bought was the Pod Racer set. With the Sebulba and Anakin's Pod Racers, and I actually wouldn't mind having that. So I think I am going to pull all the parts out for a bunch of those sets and put them together. I have a lot of my office is mostly decorated with UCS, scale Star Wars sets, but I don't think we're ever going to get another Pod Racer set at that scale. Probably not going to. The turbo tank that came out after that, they kept shrinking it in size. So I think the first turbo tank is bigger. The only one that I probably don't care about so much is I have the UCS shuttle. So I'm going to go and I probably won't rebrick that one. But as Dana pointed out, which I completely missed with the leaks coming out for next year, but I was starting to rebrick the TIE Interceptor, but we're going to get a $200 priced TIE Interceptor, which I suspect is going to be larger than the previous TIE Interceptor if they use the kind of wing connection pattern that they did on the later TIE Fighter. I'm hoping it's that size if it's priced at the $200 price point. So we'll wait and see. So that's been going on. And then let's see if I can. Oh, no, I want to turn my camera around. Front camera. Working away at the Venator. and it's freaking huge. So, like, I'm already going, well, gee, once we get this thing built, it's got some junk in the trunk. It's a little wide there at the rear end. I'm wondering how I'm going to fit that on the shelf, because I already had to deal with this once with the original Star Destroyer, and I ended up putting it in the corner butt first because it gets so fat at the rear end that most shelves it's going to hang off too much, or you can't center it enough. So I don't know, maybe that spot over there is where the Venator is going to end up, because like I said, she's a little wide through the middle there.
Is there anything on the Venator that's gravity? Like the Millennium Falcon, there's a lot of just plates resting on it? Or is it all attached?
So far, everything is attached, but on the Falcon, it was mostly the top panels that were gravity held. So I don't know, because I haven't done the top. The top will be the last section. So
I wonder if you could mount it to a wall or to your ceiling or something.
yeah, that's true. And the other thing I've been looking at is using wire to hang some stuff from my ceiling in my Star Wars room, because in particular, certain ships, they eat up a lot of shelf space. Like the X-Wing, if you've got the S-foils open and you want to set it on a shelf, it just chews up shelf space. So I thought about using wire and some, yeah, Dana? You want to?
It's right over there behind the big thing, but yes, it does take up a lot of space.
Yeah. And I already have that IKEA light that looks kind of like the Death Star when you close it and then you open it up and the light. So it would be fitting to hang the X-Wing and a couple of the other UCS ships. I don't think I would ever want to hang something as heavy as the Venator or the Star Destroyer. I would have perpetual nightmares of coming down in the morning and finding it in chunks all over the floor.
One thing I wanted to do when I built my Falcon was attach it to like some kind of a plate or something, and like have it like backlit, and then attach it to like my wall, like on some studs or something, you know.
Okay.
But I opted to just put it right over there. So
I did see someone showing off a plastic, like one of the acrylic stands, to angle the ventilator sideways, so it takes up less width. And yes, I said ventilator on purpose.
So that it's like banked like the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, like the Millennium Falcon is. So it
Yeah.
takes up less shelf space, like width wise, but more height, right? Yeah, like that. Yeah.
Dana, you want to contribute here?
I was contributing,
Oh,
There you go.
and I think the X-wing.
Here.
There's the X-wing and the TIE Fighter over there. as
well, and behind Mark, we have an example of spaceships attached to a wall at an angle in the classic spaceships. I can't remember where did you get the attachment mechanism, Mark? Was that a third party, like a 3D printer kind of deal?
Yeah, those are 3D printed stands that I bought off Etsy.
Seems to work well. Nothing's fallen off yet, I hear.
No, they're fine.
Have you noticed that the engines on your Venator sag?
With time, yes.
That doesn't happen with the Star Destroyer.
One of the things
I noticed it in the store. I'm like, they because I built engines enough to know if you put an axle in something and you put a bunch of tires on it, they will, unless you do something to support it. And I've just snuck something in there to prop them up. They will sag, and it bothers the stew out of me because it's like, no. Instead of this thing showing power, never mind. Yeah,
That comes with age, Chris.
it does.
Nothing
I mean-
like a saggy thruster.
there's pills you can take for that, but you know.
I'm guessing though that the top piece, like the top panels, will probably be locked in with hinge clips or with ball joints, but you will probably have like the center section and the cockpit section will probably be gravity held.
Yeah.
Would be my guess.
So I will say that I have the first generation Star Destroyer up there behind me, and the center of that, what runs down the middle, that the support structure attaches to, is insufficiently built.
Wasn't
it's,
it magnets that they used?
Well, the panels are attached with magnets.
Okay,
but I'm
yeah.
talking about like the Technic core that runs the length of the ship that everything sort of attaches to. It's insufficiently sturdy and it can literally break apart. And I was talking once with a Lego store employee about just going in and like reinforcing it by maybe adding a layer of plates above and below. And I will say, having built the frame for the Venator, which has, you know, roughly the same sort of, you know, elongated pyramidal shape, they have bulked this baby up. It's like quad. It's like two parallel rows of double Technic pieces pinned together, and it is far sturdier. I haven't built the newer version of the Imperial Star Destroyer.
It is very maneuverable, very easy to move, in comparison to the Falcon, which you pray to several deities at the same time when you're moving the Falcon. But the Star Destroyer is very easy to move.
Yeah, once the Falcon was placed up there, which it's kind of a perfect spot because of the shape of this room, I'm like, that's not coming down unless I completely move the Lego room to a different part of the house or something. Like I'm happy with it there, and it's stable. And I held my breath as I stepped onto a chair to lift it all the way up there, saying, please don't fall off. Don't have random things fall. But yeah. Oh, another one that I would like to hang up that is problematic for fitting on shelves is the UCS Imperial Shuttle. If you fold the wings up, it's not as bad. But if you actually want to make it into the, like, the sort of the three wings with the wings down in the flight position, it just chews up shelf space. And that's another one that I would probably try to figure out if I could use wires to hang it up in the airspace, so it's frees up some shelf space.
He's wearing a wire.
Spacey space. But these are definitely first world problems of I have too many UCS spaceships to fit in my office. I will say that it's quite amusing. Like I do Zooms for work, faculty Zooms, and I'm in a new group. I'm teaching an honors class, so I'm like in the honors professors, and I hop on early in a Zoom this month, and the honors program director, he's like leaning into his camera, like doing this, and he's like, I'm just looking at all. He goes, I love Star Wars. He's like, I'm trying to identify all the ships you have, and I was like, okay, well, I can pan the camera right and left, and he and I nerded out for a few minutes before the other faculty joined the call. And I'm like, someday maybe you can come over and you can just, see them all. So it's fun.
Yeah, my department had a kind of a last Friday Christmas party Zoom call, BYOB, and just kind of hanging out. And my boss, she's like, "Is that a virtual background or is that your office?" And I said, "It's my office."
You should create a virtual background out of your office and like license it or something. I
thought about that.
Did you really?
Yeah. Okay. I was like, because I took a picture of my office from the perspective and I shared it on Instagram, and it's like somebody asked if my office was a virtual background or not, and I'm like, maybe I should make it. You should.
All right. Anything else going in your world, man?
I have jury duty tomorrow.
Whoa!
I always get kicked off though because I'm a professor, so I'll probably go there and be gone by 10:30. And I'm like the only person in the jury pool who actually wants to be on a jury, because I'm always like, this would be so great for teaching a class and I could talk about what it's like to be in a jury, but I always get kicked off. So that's it.
Is it because you're too educated? Is that the problem?
Yeah. I teach basic constitutional law when I teach American government, and if it's a case the attorneys don't want any one juror to be overly persuasive or swing the jury, and as a general rule they will strike anyone who says they have education in that particular area. So dirty little secret, if you don't want to be in the jury, just say you're married to a lawyer and you'll probably get struck. Or I shouldn't tell people this, but
I appreciate it.
Yeah, true. I once was part of a jury pool that was being selected for a cold case murder. Oh wait, I probably just killed our monetization. Murder case, and it could involve the death penalty. And everybody else was like, they don't want to be in the jury, and I'm like, pick me, and they, of course, they put me up on the stand, and the defense lawyer, he's like, "So you teach government, right?" I'm like, "Yes, I do." And he said, "Do you cover like the First Amendment rights?" And I'm like, "Sure, every semester." And then he goes, "Do you think the police always follow those?" And I was like, before I could answer, the other lawyer's like, "Objection." And the judge says, and he goes, "Question withdrawn." And I'm like, I never had to answer the question, but I mean, he was just planting some doubt in the jury's mind. I was like, well, that's very strategic.
I can honestly say I've only been called for jury duty once when I was 18.
What?
And I got sent home.
You were too immature. They were
like, the case was didn't even go to trial. We were brought in there. I sat there for like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And then they came down and sent everybody home.
Well,
Didn't
a lot of
get
cases
to go through questions or anything.
Okay. Yeah. A lot of cases do get settled at the last second. So yeah. So anyways, sorry to derail with my jury duty drama.
Well, I've been called to be jury duty once, and when in my hometown, and I was moving to seminary, so I had to call the judge, who his kid and me were almost the same age, and I'm like, "Mr. Purnell, I'm leaving town." He goes, "Yep, you're out." So I got out that time, and then in Rome, I got called up to be on jury duty, and
Rome, Greece.
When in Rome,
Rome, Italy. I mean,
Rome, not Rome, Italy.
You don't know the famous Rome, Georgia? Come on,
you should. But anyway,
when in Rome, I get it now.
Yes, that's right. The actual one of the prosecutors took their life, and they called off jury. Yeah, it was very. We sat in there forever, and then they kind of nervously came in and says, "No court today," and anyway, very strange.
Wow, that's
it was tragically sad.
Yeah, was that recent? I mean, like, how many years?
That's been 15 years ago. So. Anyway, I'm building. What do y'all think of the Ice Planet-y thing so far? I'm just trying to.
So far,
looks
plain. Little curvy wings there. Do you like that? I don't know.
I don't know if I like the curvy wings though.
Have you solved the icing problem?
Put icicles on it. Put like a fringe of icicles along the wings. Come on, do it.
I could do it. All right. Let's see, Mr. Sandlin. What's up in your Lego world, man?
Hello. I just finished the hot dog truck.
That's cute.
Hot dogs.
And snacks.
The hot dog truck. It's a neat little truck. The you got the hot dog dude in there. I like the fries he's got behind him there. The little.
Oh, that's clever.
Little fries. Yeah. We got some drinks and some stuff in there. And I like the you can close the little side thing, and the back is like a little condiment bar. So if you take the ketchup and mustard off of it, you can close that up and finish off the back of the truck. It's a nice looking little truck. It's cute. Has that
I wonder if I could build that just with parts in my collection. It looks
maybe. How much of that light blue color do you have?
A lot.
He says mockingly.
I mean,
I bought both the Vespa and the Harry Potter deer thing just for the parts. I have a lot of those parts.
There was nothing about this that was too rare, except possibly the 1x3 rounded plates used on this.
Those would be new. Yeah.
Those are the newest things. That everything else is pretty much brick and plate. Nothing too weird.
I think the wheel wells are a rarer part too for that.
Maybe, yeah, those might be a newer thing that you might not have.
Yeah, those are
substitute. You could put a different wheel well on it, and it would probably work.
Or just recolor it.
Yeah, it's true.
I like the little signboard they give you with the little "Let's go out to the lobby."
Oh, that's awesome.
The running snacks.
Yeah. So that's pretty fun. That was a neat build. I finished the burger truck from last week.
That's a cool build.
It's all food trucks up in here recently, except I have Monkey City finished. So hang on, let me unplug my microphone and we'll go over to Monkey City.
Monkey City.
You built this Monkey City.
let's go for a walk across the room, and I'll try not to fall down on all the stuff that Small Paul left all over the floor. That's Small Paul's
or do it.
shame right there. Look at that.
This is a small stickle course.
I love
I
that
like
it's like
the border there. You can see
Yeah.
a definite line that you've created.
It's because I gripe at him about being able to walk, so he pushes all this back enough that I have to pass around
that
it.
is awesome. That is awesome.
See, Dad, I did it. I cleaned
See,
it.
Dad, I cleaned. It's like, no, you just made a path that I can walk past, but it's, you know.
I give him high marks for that, by the way.
As an
Yeah,
ADHD
As
person,
Chris often says, children are the best lawyers because they will do the letter of what you ask them to do without actually doing what you ask them to do.
that's the ultimate ADHD solution right there. I got it.
Yes.
I'm fully on board with this.
So, as many of you know, I've got Ninjago City, I've got gardens and markets pulled in here, and then I have Monkey Kid Metropolis of Lanterns now. And all the way down here on the end, I've incorporated the new Megapolis buildings and things down here.
Nice.
So I took the monorail track and put it underneath that portion of it, so it sort of goes through. And there it all is. I had enough left over from the light kits that I bought that I could string a couple extra lights in there and light up the buildings.
Nice.
And I have the Monkey King on his cloud up there. This is Chris's suggestion, was put it on some clear bricks and have him
Ah,
sitting above the city on his cloud. So he's up there.
I like it.
And then I have the monkey rail down here that I'm working on. I had to order a set to get one Technic piece that I need to put in this to make this work. So this has got a little battery and motor in it that it will work once I get that piece that makes the track clearance stuff work. So anyway, there it all is.
Are you
Cool,
gonna use
man.
that motor that hang down motor thing in that set?
The what?
Or maybe that was Dana that bought the hang down thing. Was that Dana that bought that thing? The little engine.
Yeah, that was me.
Okay, sorry.
I bought some third-party things called circuit cubes.
Yep, that's it.
Okay, well, maybe we did buy the same thing, but I got the circuit cubes, and the motor works really well.
But the clearance was still an issue.
Yeah, the motor's functional. It's just that I need the Technic piece for the sort of way that it's connected to the pin because it doesn't have the clearance to go around the curves on the track. So once I get that Technic piece that I need and rebuild that to put that in there to get the clearance for the track, it should go all the way around and work just fine. But the motor works. It syncs with Bluetooth, so I can use my phone to control it. Goes back and forth and drives and everything. Works great. It's just the little clearance issue that I have to fix with Technic piece.
Clearance.
That's right. Clearance.
Roger.
I do have to object to this Lego set because this lady is buying a hot dog with a nickel, and that's just not accurate at all.
Could be a $5 coin.
And I also object to the fashion of tucking only the belt buckle in on your T-shirt because what is that? What is that?
That's very fashion conscious.
I know the kids do that nowadays, but I don't understand it. Like, why do you only tuck in like 2 inches of the front of your shirt? Like, what is that?
It's
Maybe they're
to
from
show
Texas.
off the belt buckle, but with then still looking stylish. So yeah.
Maybe they're Texans.
I'm too old because I don't understand why that's stylish to tuck in like this much of your shirt.
You have to be really old because that's actually been in style for quite some time.
But I've never liked it. I've always been like, well, either tuck it in or don't. Like, what is?
It's okay, nerd. It's okay. It's okay.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
You're so embarrassing, Dad. Gosh.
Jeez, man.
Well, I do enjoy using modern slang incorrectly just to make Paul cringe, just to make like.
That's a dad rite of passage.
Oh yeah, it's great fun.
Oh.
I was having a great time this evening. I took him to Culver's and we got some burgers and we were eating. And, you know, Culver's plays music from 20, 30 years ago. So they were playing Taking Care of Business. And the song gets kind of repetitive toward the end where they repeat the phrase over and over. And Paul was like, "What is this song? It's annoying." I said, "Well, Paul, it's a song about a guy that's taking care of business. And he goes to work and there's all this business that he's got to
Every
take care
day.
of. And so every day he goes to work and he takes care of the business. And then the business is taken care of after that." He's Dad.
That is fine parenting right there. That's fine.
It was great fun. It was fantastic.
And that is a fantastic song. I don't.
I think his eyes went around a couple of times, rolling at me like
You got
all the way around a couple of.
Fine parenting. Fine parenting. Wait, fun.
Yes.
Okay.
Earlier, Mark, when you gave us the tour of your Monkey Town,
Yes.
I suddenly had the Funky Town song pop into my head,
Oh,
and
okay.
you were talking. Otherwise, I would have been like, "He's gonna take us to Monkey Town." But not.
Very good.
Yeah.
I approve. I approve.
Very cool. Yeah, we're gonna have to take Jeff not only to Waffle House, we're gonna have to play the in-house Waffle House songs that are on the jukebox because those are quite entertaining.
I was reading something that somebody had written about what is it? It was like the most annoying Waffle House brand themed song that you can use your phone to send to your local Waffle House while you're not there. I can't remember which song they said to use though. It's one of their official Waffle House songs, but it was a specific one that they had said was guaranteed to annoy the waitstaff specifically, and I don't remember which song they said to use.
I hope they can't see who's setting those songs in.
Well, it was a guy that said that he worked there, and when he went home, he would send it to have the thing play it while he was not there, and his coworkers get mad at him.
It's so evil and awesome at the same time.
There's always that guy. There's always that guy.
Well, when we used to go to the Pizza Hut. Now, back in the day, Steve, we would go to Pizza Hut on like Saturdays to do things. That was what
Pizza
we
Hut? Is that like what? Pizza Hut.
did. Pizza
Oh, come
Hut.
on, Steve.
I'm
Come on.
kidding. I'm kidding.
Come on.
I was gonna say. Someone's
But
gotta
we
go
would
stuff his
always
breast.
drop at least $1 of quarters and hit Patsy Cline 10 times, as many times as we could buy it and walk out of the restaurant. We never knew if it worked or not, but we in our teenagerness thought we were so hilarious that we had put Crazy by Patsy Cline on 4 times in a row in the jukebox as we
You
walked
guys
out. So.
heard John Mulaney's "What's Up, Pussycat" joke?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you haven't, you need to Google it. It's it takes Put Your Story like to the 13th level.
That's awesome. Let's see. Well, we haven't been to Dana's house yet. So, Dana, what is up in your Lego world?
Nothing. Not a
Okay,
thing.
good.
Not a thing.
You have something shiny behind you.
Oh, yes. I've been working on this. So, so I came home in short story, long story short, short story. It's me. I'm sure that Nick was watching this post haste and he's like, yeah, Dana's going to tell a short story. But I came home from Chicago and Meredith and Simon were like, okay, you've given me enough of this whole thing about New Hashima. I've seen it. It was a monstrosity that will never escape my mind of how awesome it was. So I needed to go ahead and add my own touch to it for the Atlanta, which we've already sucked. We've got 22 days for Atlanta BrickCon, so this will be added. This actually won't be done exactly this way when it's actually in the collab. This is a topper, but this is actually a bottom section. So actually, I believe Casey and Steven will have a cube and a cube here, and then the hotel and the park will be up one level. And then Meredith will go along this section here as we go around into a U for some other stuff that Meredith is doing. Meredith, who has not been on the show probably for a while, has got like
last show.
Okay, so has she shown you that she's got like 8 modules that she's adding in? I know that a lot of it had to do with the steroids that she was on for chemo.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, she's been cranking out some stuff for New Hashima, but I was very happy. I finished when I was talking with Matthew and Mark on Saturday. I was actually finishing up some lighting testing here, and then I was actually top on the hotel. And so now, other than doing just some little additions, some adding some more people and some little tweaks, I know I need to run a different extension cord to make placing the hotel on top easier. Otherwise, the plug to go down and snake through, I already know is going to be a nightmare. So I'm just going to replace it with an extension cord, which will be easy to drop through the conduit hole. So, and then I'm building some space. This is a cool set. I like it. I'm looking forward to finishing it so then I can play with the space train. But this is a pretty well done set. I don't know who actually designed this one, but it's spacey. It's very spacey. I enjoy it. And it's heavy. This has got some weight to it. So that, and I also did, but this was so 2023. So, but yeah, we got that going. That's it.
That all?
For now.
I was buckled in, man. Usually, 30 minutes.
Well, I knew we were getting close to 9:00. We're at 9:06, so I didn't want to push too far over.
But you haven't been on for like a month practically.
Yeah, well, I've probably taken more stuff to the basement that I could talk about, but I don't want to go down there.
And that would be Hitchhikers. Never mind.
Yeah, you never know.
He knows how many will fit in his trunk, just FYI. So,
well, that was the thing I was going to say earlier about the fact that maintenance on your car and stuff like that, which I don't remember whether that was pre-show conversation or post-show conversation. I never drive anywhere anymore, so I also find it ridiculous to change my oil every 3 months because I don't even go 1,000 miles every 3 months.
Go with the mileage.
Yeah, mileage.
Yeah. Even then, it could be 3 years before I need my oil changed.
Well, it's mileage or about a year.
Yeah.
After about a year, you should probably change it anyway.
Usually, what I wind up doing is when I get the emissions done, I have them change the oil at the same time.
You don't want to wait until the magic smoke starts coming out of the car.
No, because when the smoke escapes, it stops working.
It's a little too late.
Yeah.
Smoking.
Although this is the same car that the engine was replaced under warranty.
Wow.
Because I had a check engine light come on and they came out and said, well, your engine needs to be replaced. I went, what? They said, good news though. It's covered in the warranty. I'm like, oh, that's nice.
Then you take care of that then.
Yes, you take care of that.
Well, let's do that.
Yeah. And I'll take the rental for 2 weeks or however long it takes. But yeah.
All right. Well, we are past an hour. Thank y'all for hanging out with us. We were just goofing around on a messy Monday. Do we know what we're doing on Thursday? No, but we'll do something. We will see you then. I'm trying to get Rick Brickham to come on, so I'm going to try to coax him on to coming on the show on Thursday. So I'm going to make the attempt. But anyway, have a great night, great evening, great tomorrow. As we freeze here in the South with our heavy frost that makes us want to go get bread and milk and skip school. Be awesome, build awesome, love your neighbor, and all that kind of stuff. Have a great night, everybody. Goodbye.